What up, Wholesale to Million family? Today I'm bringing you guys a powerhouse. Man, this guy, if you haven't known him already, well, you're about to get to know him, okay? And it's such an honor, man, for me to be able to have him jump onto the channel to pour with you guys some knowledge, help you guys take your business, your life to the next level. Now, Steve runs a six-figure real estate empire, six-figure a month real estate empire. He also the founder, the CEO of Real Estate Disruptor. Also, too, is I call him the one-man stop shop. So if you're in the Phoenix, Arizona, you got to get to know him because he is the missing link to your puzzle. He owns the title company. He buys fix and flip. He wholesale. He has a construction company, like all of that. I'm going to have him share with you guys like his whole entire business and all that, and how you guys be able to gain some knowledge from this and how it can help your life and your business, okay? So you guys, please help me welcome, put your hand, put your thumb together, Steve Trang from Phoenix, Arizona. What's going on, brother?
Man, thank you so much for having me. That intro is so freaking nice. I really appreciate that, man.
Well, the thing is, first of all, Steve, man, I want to say, hey, bro, thank you so much, man, for taking the time to jump on to do this interview with me, man. I really appreciate it, dude.
I appreciate you too. I know you got a lot going on. You're doing big things. So you crush it out there in Vegas. So I'm honored to be on this with you.
Well, you guys, I met Steve Trang in person. We Life 19. When was that, man? Back like in March?
That was March. Yep.
Gotcha.
8 months ago.
Gotcha. Just to let you guys know, man, this guy is the real deal, man. However it is, you guys see him on camera. He's definitely a go-giver. You know, I chat with him. I meet him in person. He to me, he's definitely very genuine and really want to go out there and help people. Because I know one of his goals is what, Steve? One of your goals is what? Bro?
Create 100 millionaires. Create 100 millionaires. And we're on our way.
Come on, man. Shit.
So, hey, bro, before we get into, you sharing with us the whole story, man, how's business been, dude?
Man, business has been amazing. We're actually closing on 2 properties today on that we're wholesaling. They're multifamily, and we were going to make I think like 15 on one and 20 on the other as a wholesale. We're like, let's just take it down. Let's just take it down and make 20 and 30 on these.
Wait, so
we get cheap money.
Wait, hold on. So instead of wholesaling, making 15K and 20K on each, you guys are gonna take it down and fix and flip it?
No, we're just gonna list it on MLS and just make 20 and 30 on them instead. Make a little bit more. We get some extra capital. Let's just go ahead and use it.
Gotcha. So you guys are basically doing what? Wholesaling?
Wholesaling, some multifamily, yeah.
Gotcha. Steve, man, for those that don't know the difference between wholesaling and wholesaling, please explain.
All right. So wholesaling is when you got that contract, you got it locked up with the homeowner or property owner, and instead of closing on it, you sell the rights to the contract. So, you make the difference. That's your assignment fee. Wholesaling is you're taking it down as the buyer, and you're not doing a full flip. It's not a 6 month, it's not a 3 to 6 month process. It's literally, we're going to close on it today, and Wednesday or Thursday, we're putting it in MLS. Nothing's changing, right? Because these are occupied, these are tenant occupied. We're just going to sell it to someone else that's got a lot of cash that doesn't mind dealing with the hassle. Because what we had was a property owner that didn't want to deal with the hassle, didn't want to show it, so it got a good price. But we don't mind dealing with the hassle. We don't mind dealing with the tenants, inconveniencing them. So we're going to get more.
Gotcha. Now, Steve, another quick question, man. Why would people want to wholesale instead of wholesale?
So wholesaling is a great strategy if you have access to capital. And so if you have access to capital at a cheap price, I've negotiated some pretty good terms on my private money. So if you got private money, it's not too expensive, then it's a good situation. But if you don't have access to funds, then wholesaling is just not an option, right? Wholesaling is great. Lots of big players wholesale. It's a great option if you have access to capital, if you've gotten the track record, right? That's the difference.
Right, because when you put it back on the MLS, what are you what are you exposing the property to, Steve?
Everybody, every buyer, right? So when you wholesale, you got limited buyers. Not to say that it's a bad thing. It's just you got limited number of people that can buy because they got to pay cash or hard money. And if you go on a wholesale, now you get access to every agent that's got their buyers that is in their database. You know, they got a safe search. It's hitting all of them. And we don't mind doing a conventional loan, right? For someone that buys it from us, we got time. So yeah, the difference is you have access to a lot more people because you have access to more people. Demand's higher. Because demand's higher, your price is higher.
Right. Because when you put on the MLS, I mean, you might be getting the husband and the wife that wants to put in a little bit sweat equity where they're willing to do the rehab, fix the property up for the next 6 months or for the next year. And then after they're done, maybe the property worth like what, 150, and maybe they're all in it at like 130. And they're like, wow, you know what? I got a $20,000 discount to them. That is good.
Yeah.
But to most savvy investors, right? Yep. Gotcha.
Yep.
Dude, Steve, I'm excited, bro. So let's jump right into it, man. Let's go ahead and share with everybody your story, man.
Let's do this. All right. So where do you want to start? How far back do you want to go?
Dude, take me back to where you're from, bro.
All right. So first off, I was born in a refugee camp, right? So it's going back to my grandparents. They were sold, and this can get political. I apologize for your audience. It can get a little political, but they were sold on the concepts of socialism, and it didn't work out well. So my grandparents had to flee China, right, to Vietnam. And then back then, you got communism coming down and say, hey, this is a great process. Everyone's going to win together. And instead, my parents fled Vietnam from the United States, right, to chase the American dream, which we have. You and I pursued it to great success. But along the way, I was born in a refugee camp in Italy, on the border of Italy and Croatia. And so we came here, thankfully, we were sponsored by some very nice Christian families. So we came here as immigrants with literally nothing, right? We came here broke as can be. And so with that hard work, not my hard work, my parents' hard work, and them working 60, 80 hours a week so that we can go to college and, not have student debt, give us the best platform possible to leap off of. And I took all of that and threw that all away and chased real estate.
So now, Steve,
right? So
go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so I went through, did everything that the parents always said. As growing up, when you're Asian, you either become a doctor, a dentist, lawyer, or maybe an engineer. And so I did engineering thing. I went to college 4 years, got my master's degree in electrical engineering at UC San Diego, and worked at Intel for 3.5 years, bored as can be. And so once that, I was like, man, I need to do something different. And that's when I got into real estate.
Man, so 4 years to get the engineer, and how much were you making, bro?
So when I quit, I had literally just gotten a pay raise from $70,000 a year to $85,000, plus amazing benefits, plus not pension, but like stock options, blah blah blah. I mean, I was basically making over $100,000 a year when I quit.
Wow, bro.
Back in 2007.
Wow, bro. So Now, Steve, here's my question for you, bro. People that are like, maybe people in that stage of, college or should I go real estate? What's your take on it, dude?
College or real estate? I think it's just different for everybody, right? I knew from the get-go, I was never going to stay an employee. I knew when I graduated, I was never going to stay an employee, right? I was going to start a business. I just didn't know what business was going to be. In fact, when I went to go to grad school, one of the reasons why I was going and getting a PhD, I was actually a PhD student. One of the reasons why was that you want to get bought by a tech startup, then you need to have a PhD. So I was going to go down that route, but I knew I was not going to be an employee forever. And so I think that if you want to be an entrepreneur, real estate is amazing. But if you're someone that, if you're listening to this, you're probably an entrepreneur, right? But for 95% of the people, college is great, right? As long as you don't get a degree in something that's useless. And, you know, no offense, but most 80% of degrees are useless. So as long as you get a degree in something useful, it's fine. But you have to make sure that when you do it, just like everything else, begin with the end in mind. Don't get a degree in something you're passionate about. Get a degree that's going to get you paid, that you can get a good job. But I think I think entrepreneurship is incredible. All my brothers have either graduated college or are still in college. I know it's kind of shocking that some are still in college, but you know, they're all getting degrees. They're chasing that route with the knowledge that entrepreneurship is an option if they want to pursue it. Right? They've got the support from me and from my parents.
Gotcha, man. So now, Steve, so you quit the job and went into, so you started out as what? As a real estate agent?
Yeah, as a real estate agent. I started as a real estate agent, solo agent, chasing, you know, deals, and no one was buying in 2007. It was a terrible, terrible idea. But I have this problem where I've never been told I have a confidence issue, right? So I'm always going to figure it out. That's always my mindset. But truth be told, I sucked in 2007 and 2008. I filed my 1040 in 2008 was negative 50,000. And it wasn't that I was writing things off. I wasn't making money. I spent 50,000 more than I brought in revenue, right? So, but I started as a real estate agent. I did the whole thing, start working, showing buyers. I eventually started listing short sales. And then, you know, very fortunately, I started listing properties for the bank. So I was an REO listing agent. But once that writing was kind of on the wall, I said, something's got to change because foreclosures are going away. That's when I started developing into myself. That's when I started doing more personal development. That's when I first got into coaching, is in 2012. And that's when I became a business owner. I thought I was a business owner, right? I'm a real estate agent. I'm a business owner. No, I was just an employee with multiple bosses, right? Every homeowner that I was a listing agent for was my boss. That was a terrible situation. I quit my job because I didn't want to have a boss, and I had 20 bosses now. So it wasn't until I got into coaching, understood chasing homeowners to buy their houses versus listing their houses was a much better situation for me. And it was a very long road to figure that out.
Wow, bro. Okay, so now, Steve, at what age did you get into becoming the real estate agent?
27.
27, man. And how long were you a real estate agent for?
So this year is my 12th year. So, you know, I started in May of 2007. So, you know, it's 12 and a half years now.
Okay, man.
I'm still licensed. I'm a real estate broker. So
Gotcha.
Still licensed. I don't do a lot with it.
Gotcha. So, okay. So Steve, you gone into 27 as a real estate agent, and how many, and you said, and then you start to get into self-development. How long into that until you're like, you know what, I got to get into self-development?
Man, I want to say 4 or 5 years.
Dang.
I took too long, way too long.
Gotcha.
Way too long.
Okay. So what makes you what makes you make that shift, bro?
I think it was, and it's not to say I wasn't doing any personal development. I just didn't realize how important it was until I became a business owner, right? Once I became an entrepreneur and realizing that myself is the greatest investment. I am the best investment I can make. And it wasn't until I became, like, if you're a real estate agent, just to put it in perspective, and a lot of wholesalers, you know, that are running solo can appreciate this, right? Like, you're just running all day, running dogged. You know, if you're waking up before 7 o'clock, that's fantastic, but you're probably waking up 7:30, 8 o'clock, tired from the previous day. And you're going up and you're dealing with fires. Like, you open your emails and there's already fires from yesterday, right? And you're just putting out fires from like 9 o'clock until 4 o'clock. And then, man, hopefully I can put in some cold calling time. And then maybe I can get some appointments, right? Like, that's the life of a solopreneur. And you don't realize that there's a better way until you become a business owner, until you realize you can offload a lot of the crap work. You can hire a transaction manager so that they can handle 90 to 95% of the fires. You can hire someone to go put lock boxes on properties. You can leverage good quality title companies and escrow companies to do a lot of the crap work that you don't want to do. But as a solopreneur, you kind of get lost in the weeds. And that was me for the first 5 years of my career. I didn't know there was another way. And it sucks, but that's the reason why we're preaching these messages, right? You and I, is let people know that there is a better way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now, Steve, when you decide to get into personal development, you hire a coach. Like where do you go, bro? Or listen to?
Yeah. So the first one I went into was Quick Proctor Coaching, which is for traditional real estate agents. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody that's listening to the show right now. But that's the first one I went into, and that was when the flip switched. Right? It was when you were a business owner. Because until then, that's when I was still a real estate agent. Mm-hmm. And, one of the best lessons I learned from it was if you ask yourself this question, what could I do today so that I can be more lazy? And you just spend all your time to figure out how to be as lazy as you can. And that sounds ridiculous, especially if you grew up with a college education and you're like, no, you're supposed to do hard work. Everything's about hard work. But really, as a business, like the question, I asked somebody this other day because they were like, trying to figure out how far to scale. So the question is, if Khang was working really hard, putting 80 hours a week by himself, how many houses can Khang sell? What would you say? If you're working by yourself again, starting from the bottom, how many houses could you sell or do a month?
Oh, dude, I mean, definitely not the volume that I'm doing right now. But, dude, I mean, man, when I was doing everything myself, I think I was doing about maybe 60, 70K a month. But so
okay, so now let's talk about,
sure.
Let's say Khang now has a full operation where he's only just the CEO and only stepping in as a surgeon when necessary. How much can you do a month?
Like all by myself?
No, with a team. You got a whole team working underneath you.
Gotcha. So right now,
how many could you do?
Yeah. So right now we're doing about 250 a month.
Okay. Now, how many transactions could Khang's organization do if Khang wasn't involved at all? It's a full company and Khang's traveling the world. How many deals could they do? Or volume could they do?
So you mean like right now?
No, like let's just say Khang's completely removed, right? This is a full functioning company that you've built.
Right. Yeah.
How many could you do a month? Unlimited.
Yeah, correct. So, I mean, all it is just getting more manpower, right? Getting the more right,
yeah.
the right people onto the team.
Yep, and that was what the switch flipped for me, right? When the question that was asked was how many houses could you buy and sell if their business did not depend on you? And the answer is unlimited. And so everything I do now is to build a business that does not depend on me.
Gotcha, man. Steve, I got exactly what you're trying to say. By yourself, you're limited to how much you can produce. But if you become a business owner and know how to build a team, it's obviously unlimited because all you need to do is get more people on to your team.
Yeah.
And there are 7 billion
more systems, more people.
Yep. Gotcha, man. Got it, dude. Great concept. So now, Steve, let's get into your business a little bit, bro. Could you share with me like all different kind of business that you're operating, running, dude? And how can you do that, bro? Like, you know what I mean?
All right.
I want to hear that, man.
All right. So right now we got the brokerage where we got about 130 agents, and last month we were at 0.8% market share. So there are 80,000 real estate agents in Arizona, of which 45,000 are licensed realtors in the Phoenix metropolitan market. We have 130 of them, but we have almost 1% market share.
Wow.
Right. So that's the brokerage. I got my traditional real estate team. We're on pace to do 60 transactions, so 5 a month. Is not as sexy as it used to be. I used to do 100 transactions a year, but we're only gonna do 60. But the reason why is because we stopped spending money because the ROI was going down. So then on top of that, we got the wholesale company. I got my business partner, Max Jimenez, and I. It's not terribly sexy. We're not the biggest players in town. We're working on it. We're on our way. But this year we should do between 500 and 600,000 in revenue just in our wholesale company, which isn't bad because I was looking at our numbers. We spend about $8,000 a month in total overhead. So I would say that's pretty good.
Dude, that's hella good, bro.
I'm happy to make $50,000 a month with $8,000 in spent.
And I promise that Steve doesn't do much.
That's my low number. Well, we got to get to 100K consistently. So that's the wholesale. We got the title company. I was listening to somebody yesterday or the last week. I think we're doing over 100 transactions a month through the title company.
Dang, bro.
And then we got the app, OfferFast, which is the off-market wholesale app in Arizona and Texas. We're trying to get nationwide by this time in January. And then we got the podcast, which is the funnest thing because we get to help as many people for free. And the last thing is we do have our coaching program too. I do a really lousy job of promoting it, but it's something I really enjoy because we get to deep dive into other people's businesses and walk them through things that they're not seeing, the challenges that they're having.
Gotcha. Okay, bro. Dude, that's a lot. Hold on a second, bro. You got the real estate agent side, right? Okay. So right now you're managing 130 agent.
My company is.
Yeah. I understand. So now, Steve, how do you structure that? So do you just talk to one person and that one person turn to team manager and team manager? Like how does it work, bro?
So Darren Hardy is one of my heroes. Okay. And one of the things he talks about is his mission is to influence the influencers. And so for me, it's kind of the same thing. I want to lead the leaders. So we have 150 agents, but we really have about 7 team leaders, right? 7 people that are functioning at a high level. And when I say high level, I'm talking about they're bringing home $400,000 a year net, right? Plus. So these are the people that I personally mentor. So I mentor these guys, and they've got their whole operation underneath them where they've got their own agents and transaction coordinators and marketers, right? So entrepreneurship is my passion, as you can tell. And that's what I mentor them on. It is how to build a business that supports their life and family. Because most people, if you look at most people generally build a business and they fit their life where they can, right? This is how most people do it. And it's just the way it's done. It's the way it's always been done. No one looks at it any differently. Me personally, if you're following me on Instagram, you can see I have a life that I want to live. And I fit my business where I can around it.
Awesome, bro. So now, Steve, hold on a second. Okay, so how many hours are you putting into the real estate agent side?
4 hours a week.
Okay, hold on a second, man. So 4 hours a week. Now, you got the whole fix and flip too, right?
So we don't do a lot of fix and flipping. We used to do a little bit more. But we realize it's not our strength zone.
Okay.
We're just not good at it. Now, at some point, if we can find someone that loves to fix and flip with our money, we're fine to do that, right? But we haven't found that person who likes to fix and flip, and that's their excitement. But truth be told, that's not my passion. That's not my business partner's passion. So until we find an employee that's their passion, we're going to keep that on the minimal. So we buy properties because we commit to homeowners that we're going to buy their properties.
Right.
And if for whatever reason we can't wholesale it, then we will buy it 100% of the time. We don't do this crap where we cancel, we don't renegotiate. If we say, I'm buying your house and we're closing on this date for this price, 100% of the time, we're closing on this date for this price. That's non-negotiable. So the properties that we close on are the ones that we did not wholesale for the fee that we wanted.
Gotcha. So now, Steve, how, because a lot of people that are starting out, watching this, that's starting out, maybe have done a couple of deals. Now, how can, obviously, it's going to take experience and time for you. Now, how do you get, how do you guys are able to have that confidence go out? You must have somebody that does I guess, how do you structure it where you come out and go see the property, right? So that way you get close on every single one. So we're a little
bit different. Yeah, because we're not virtual, right? That's a little bit different. And it's our competitive advantage because there's a lot of people trying to do virtual in Phoenix, which is great. Because we just say, hey, that's fantastic. I got offered that. And when he came out, what did he say anything? Oh, they didn't come out. I was like, oh, they didn't come out to your house. That's interesting. How do you know they haven't seen your house, right? So we answer a lot of doubt there. So that's one of our competitive advantages in Phoenix. A lot of guys trying to do everything virtually, even though they live here. So for the newer guys, to have that confidence is a little harder, I think. But you can have, if you're doing virtual, you can just say, hey, this offer is contingent or subject to property being in the condition that you described it, right? So you can have a contingency in there, but our contracts have no contingencies.
Gotcha. So now, Steve, why did you decided to go that route?
Because we win more contracts that way, right? Like, we buy houses deeper than anybody else. Because if you talk to a homeowner that's willing to sell their house for cash, you're talking to someone that's like between 1% and 4% of the market, right? That's not 100% of the market. It's a very small part of the market. But that small part of the market craves certainty. They want to know that this is done. They're not selling your house for cash for a deep price only for you to cancel, right? Like, when they're doing it, they're desperate, they're motivated. And for me, I think it's our obligation and duty to take care of them, because they're coming to you with a pain that's real. And so I think that you can't make a commitment to people with real pain unless you plan on solving it for real. It's like, look at it this way. I think, a lot of these guys are coming in kind of like pharmaceutical companies, where they rather treat the symptoms or solving the real problem. So I think these guys are coming in there, we can fix it, and they're just trying to make money. And I think you come in there to try to make money. I'm not saying money is wrong. I am very much a capitalist, but I think you also need to look at it. You're getting paid to solve people's problems. And I think that some people that kind of lose sight of it. One thing I want to say, about once a month or every other month, I remind everyone in my organization, like, it's really easy to get desensitized when you're doing a lot of transactions that you forget the person that's you're helping. And the example I give here is, have you ever driven by an accident where the EMT is putting someone on a stretcher that's very badly injured, and they're putting them in an ambulance, and then they're like laughing and goofing off? Like, that looks, the perception there is horrible, right? But these guys are seeing horrible things all day, and they're completely desensitized to it. People are bleeding on them. They're cleaning up crap. Like, for them, this is like a no big deal. And I think for us, we kind of get desensitized to the homeowner's true situation that we need to take care of.
Gotcha, bro. And I definitely respect that, Steve. Now, as far as wholesale, bro, wholesale, dude, like, when you talk about create a business so you can get lazy, I want to know, man, how many hours are you putting into that, bro?
On the wholesale business?
Yeah.
Let's see. We meet an hour and a half on Mondays, and we have like 20-minute calls. So maybe another 4 or 5 hours.
A week?
4
hours work week. You guys ever read that book, man? 4 hours a work week? This guy is living that 4-hour work week if that's all you want to make. But obviously, we know Mr. Steve Trang here has massive goals. So to him, the 4-hour work week, just for one business. So, I mean, for some of you that's watching this, I mean, that's the lifestyle that you want. The 4-hour work week, making that kind of money, dude. Come on, man. Dude, that's a lot of money for that many hour, man. See,
it's a pretty good dollar per hour situation.
Yeah, dude. The thing is, Steve, like, I would rather, like, there's always this question, like, would you rather make $1 million and work like 15, 16 hours a day? Or would you rather make whatever Steve is making and work that many hours? Dude, I would take, or $2 million and working 15, 16 hours a day. Dude, I would take your method, bro. Any day, bro. The lazy method, bro.
Yeah.
The leveraging method, dude.
It's crazy, right? And that's the thing that it's really hard for a lot of guys to understand. And it takes a long way to get here, Like, it wasn't like I just kind of came over this overnight, Like, it's 12 years of suck, right? It's just eating crap sandwiches. There were a lot of crap sandwiches we ate over the years. But I posted something a couple of weeks ago of a guy, kind of jumping around, in the obstacle course, jumping and flipping. And I kind of outlined like the journey. And, we do a lot of crap as business owners, and we kind of forget that. But one of the things, like, eventually over time, as we learn all the skills to be a solopreneur, and then eventually we have to learn a new skill, which is recruiting, right? On top of that, we already learned marketing and so on. And then once we learn recruiting, like, oh crap, we hired this guy and he left and now he's our competition. How did that happen? What did we do wrong to make that happen? And so we have to learn how to become better leaders. And that's the hardest part to understand. And that's where the abundance mindset comes from. We have a lot of killers here in town that we're all friends because we all have the abundance mindset. It's because we've all gone through the struggle together and we don't see each other as competition. And I think that attitude, that mindset, that, I have people that in my operation, I teach them everything. There's nothing I leave out. And the reason why is because if you want to compete against me, like, that's fine. Just know it's going to be really hard, but you want to compete against me, it's fine. And I think that they appreciate that, we want to support them and that we don't hold anything back. And that's part of the leadership that I'm trying to impart on everybody that's in this business.
All right, Steve, you're Asian, bro. So I'm going to ask you this question, Steve. Just because
Sure.
just because you're Asian, and I agree with the whole concept of, hey, there's abundance, so there's another player in your area. You guys work with each other, so I understand that. But we both know that, we both know that is hire employee, dude. Having a good employee, finding that employee is hard.
Oh, 100%. Right? It's incredibly difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now you found one and you train them all up. They know everything about your business, right? And then all of a sudden one day they quit and they went on off on their own. Some do, some don't. But my question,
most don't make it.
Yeah, but here's my question to you, Steve. Like, my question to you is that, like, why don't you there is a way where you can eliminate that? Because we all know that it takes time, the time to train them up, that's where it costs you a boatload of money. Train them up, let them know, pouring everything you got into them so they can be the best, right? So they can be the best. You see, because the thing is, I watched the Asian movie, the whole Asian movie. See, the king has, so the king is on top, and then he has his whatever it is, but he don't want to give that person all the power, because when he gives that person all the power, guess what? That person can turn around and take the thorn or whatever you want to call it. So this is how we set up our business, bro. And I want to get you into this. See, our business is all virtual, right? We have VAs and things, but our employee did not know what we make. Like one person don't know the whole entire system. Like one person don't know everything to the business, and we keep it that way. And the reason why we keep it that way is just because we don't want to go through the headaches and all the hiring process. So one of them don't know the whole process to the whole thing. So they don't know exactly how much the company makes. They don't know any of that. Just to not have that, what is it? So
turnover.
Yeah.
Let me answer this question.
Go ahead, bro.
I think I understand the question. So I think a couple things, right? In those Asian movies, there can only be one king, but we can have a lot of kings today, right? Second, the part where I'm not working that much is when things go south, we can actually kind of work together and solve problems, right? So a few months ago, about a month and a half ago, my right-hand person had a medical situation. Literally, like, ambulance came and picked her up from our office, and she was out for 3 weeks. And we slowed down a little bit, but that's about it. We kept moving because we had other people that we could rely on. And so talking about that part where I can go and do whatever I want, whenever I want, it's because we have people that are well trained. And if anything is missing or someone gets hurt, someone's out, other people can cover for each other. Now, it's a tough mindset to have, but I think that it's my opinion that people are less likely to leave you if you give them the option to, if you train them and they know that you care about them. One of the presentations I gave back in Wholesaling Live is, the people that work with you, there's 3 questions you have to be able to answer for them, and they can answer the right way. And all these questions, they won't leave you. And the first question is, can I trust you? Meaning, like, can I trust that you're gonna do what's best for me, when I'm not in the room and you're making decisions? Do you care about me? Right? Like you genuinely care about my well-being, and can you help me? And can you help me means, can you help me accomplish my goals? And the goals aren't necessarily being a giant virtual wholesaler. You know, most people don't want that. Now, I want to be the king of Phoenix, but most people don't, right? There's only so many people that want to be the king of Phoenix. And so the people that we work with, I'm not saying that they don't have aspirations. They just don't have the same aspirations that I necessarily have.
Gotcha. So, dude, man. So, see, the thing is to me is that, see, to me, it's not that, it's like once you hire, I mean, everybody when they want a job or they want to work with you or they want the knowledge from you, I mean, everybody would answer the questions the way that you want to hear it. Right? Mm-hmm. Everybody would right? Everybody would answer the questions.
Yeah, everyone knows how to lie well in an interview, for sure. Right? In fact, the better they are in the interview, the more we know that they've got a lot of practice because they've been fired or a bunch or whatever. If they're really good at interviewing, actually scares me.
Gotcha. So to me, it's just, now listen, I mean, if you hire a entrepreneur, like someone that has to see, to me, Steve, this is what it is, man. To me is that, when, gosh, how should I say this? Like when people are, I don't know. I don't know exactly how I would say this. I'm just saying that when you put a plate of food in front of people and expect them not to eat it, that's tough.
Yeah. So that goes back to the can you help me part, right? So you got to figure out what they want. Like if they want to make 250K a month, you know, is that a risk if they go out and compete against you? 100% is a risk. Can they replicate it? Highly doubtful, because there's a lot of key ingredients to make you as successful as you are.
Right.
Because you ate a lot of the crap sandwiches as well, and you've gone through all the pain. And a lot of guys, like I know this from, you know, again, doing this for 12 years. I'm friends with a lot of people that have had a lot of success and have people leave. This is something that happens all the time, right? Once you start scaling, turnover happens. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you 90% of the time when someone leaves you, they crash and burn.
Right.
They don't replicate you what you have. They can't. They think they can, but they can't. I'll give you another example, right? Like let's just say you took Southwest Airlines, okay? And say, okay, I got their policy and procedures manual. I've got their hiring process. Now I'm going to go remake a Southwest Airlines. You can't, because it's the people in it that make the business. It's not the policies. It's not the secrets. There's no secrets, right? It's the people you bring in that make your company.
That is correct. Steve, I agree with you. Most people think, like most people see what we do and saying, hey, I can go ahead and take the info and go do, but we both know there's much to it. It's who you are as a person and all the characters and everything that's within you, right? That's self-development. So we both know that.
Yep. My
question to you is that why can't we eliminate that? Not that we don't want our employee, so to me, it's like, okay, man, I'm just gonna be real with you, Steve. I get people. Okay, so I get people that runs the business and bring their acquisition or team manager to a mastermind, to the CG. They go in there, they learn everything, and now they're supposed to. I'm just saying now the greed, right? You're basically they could have been happy with whatever they're making, working for you, not knowing the whole entire thing. But when they start knowing the whole entire thing, now they get greed. So greed goes up and say, well, Steve, I'm doing all this work for Steve. Steve is making this. I'm just saying, why can we prevent that? So they don't know the whole entire thing to the whole entire system.
Yeah. So I think they might be the wrong person to bring into that room, right? It could be like, you know, if you got someone that says like in the job interview, Khang, I want to be you in 2 years. Well, I don't know. Maybe you don't bring that guy to that meeting.
Well, the thing is that nobody would say that at the interview. The interview is I would answer exactly what Steve want to hear. Yes, Steve, I'm going to make you money, man. I'm going to be loyal to you, right? All of that, bro.
So yeah, I don't know. I haven't run into that issue myself personally, but I think it goes back to the leadership principles, you know, and that's my favorite book is Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. But, you know, can I trust you? Do you care about me? And can you help me? I think those are three really important questions that you personally should have a very clear answer on the person you're bringing into your world. So if you're going to bring them into a seat, you can bring them into the mastermind, you better know 100% where you stand with that guy. You know, I have very full confidence that the people I work with know that I care about them. Now, have we had people leave? Hell yeah, we've had people leave. But I can tell you as well, we have way lower turnover than everyone else in the industry on the wholesale side and the traditional side, you know, because they know that we care. Like people have things come up where they have to take time off, you know, kids sick, kid got in a fight in school, whatever. And they have to take time off, they have to deal with it, and they apologize. And every time it's like, look, don't worry about, like, the business is going to be fine. No one's going to die in real estate. Take care of you, take care of your family. You know, like, this is what we do. This is, we care about you, the person. We don't care about the money. I'm not saying the money's not important, right? We're not a nonprofit organization, but we care about you, the individual, and we want you to be happy.
Gotcha. So Steve, let's get okay, bro. Okay, you guys comment. Okay, comment below and let me know you like let me know your take on this and let me know your thoughts. See, the thing is, Lon and I, man, I mean, maybe because we've been watching this whole Asian movie since I was a kid. So we don't let one employee take control of the whole, like one employee don't have the whole power. So we can eliminate their power and they can be replaced, because what we do is we cross-train them, right? We cross-train people on certain tasks. So that way this person knows this task, so they know how to do this and this. So that way when one goes out, we can replace them. So you know what I'm saying? So
I do. And I don't think you necessarily need to change your whole business, right? It's just the way I run it.
Right.
And this is the way I run my business. I'm not saying you have to change your business.
No, Steve. No, what I'm saying is that when you have one business, that's all you're focusing on. Maybe people say that because they have multiple businesses.
Yeah. Well, I still think though the turnover situation, that like we have a guy that works for us who's told me that he wants to be me, right? He told me that.
Yeah.
And I totally support him there, right? And I said, look, you're going to be able to see our entire operation, and if in 2 or 3 years you replace me, like, no big deal, right? Like, we'll find somebody along the way. So I guess if they compete against us, like, we're going to be fine, right?
Right.
Here's what they're not going to be able to replace. Okay, they're not going to be able to replace our experience. They're not going to be able to replace our personality, our characters and traits, and they're definitely not going to be able to replace our relationships.
Right.
And people forget how important relationships are in business. It's everything, right? I'm on a first name basis with all the top players in town, a lot of the top players across the country. And this is on both sides of the industry, right? Traditional real estate and the wholesaling real estate. So like, if you want to compete against me, that's great. But I am so far ahead, it's going to be really hard to compete against. And you want to go off and do this on your own, like great. Like, it's not an issue. But if I can help you make the kind of money you want to make and work within the hours, and you can live the kind of life that you want to live, why do you need to go do this on your own? But if you do, like, you know, God bless you. Sign up for my coaching program.
No, well, the thing is, Steve, like, I respect you, bro, how you run the business model, your mindset, right? The abundance and everything like that. But I'm thinking people is going to like that. I'm thinking people are going to like how you and I are kind of, you know, so that's why I want to put it out there. What's that?
Yeah. And I think it's going to take a long time, right? Like, I think if this is the first time you hear it, you're going to think I'm crazy. Like, I'm some sort of, like, you know, spiritual person that probably does a lot of yoga and stuff like that. Like, I think the first time you hear this concept, it's going to sound completely foreign. But I think, you know, you do this long enough and you go through enough, you hire enough people. And like, my right-hand person, who's amazing and makes my life really easy, she's the 6th person I hired for that role. The first 5 people did not last. Like, it took a while to find the right people. You know, there were a lot of people that I hired that were not cut out for this role. So I think, you know, I think the hiring process, the culture you build is a very integral component.
Gotcha, dude. Steve, maybe sometime we should take this topic, go Instagram live, bro.
Yeah, I'm down.
So, Steve, now let's talk about your title company, dude. So your title company.
Yeah.
So talk me about this title company, bro.
Mm-hmm. So what I did, again, this goes back to how do I make more money and still be lazy? So what I've been very fortunate that when we started our partnership 2 years ago, I had about 40 licensed agents in my brokerage, but I was still doing a lot of transactions. Like I said, my team was doing 100 transactions a year. That's just my team. That's not the brokerage. That's just like my own team, right? And so when I started the title company, there's a big title company in town that we partnered up with, and they do 51% ownership. I'm at 49% ownership. And in that partnership, the agreement is they do all the work, all of it. And all I have to do is just say, guys, use my title company. And that's it. That's the amount of work involved. So that's just one more venture where, man, on that one, like I think maybe 20 minutes a week max in that business.
So,
right. But that's something that I was able to build up from building the brokerage. If I didn't have the brokerage, this would not be an opportunity available to me.
Right. So for those that's in the Phoenix, Arizona, your title company will obviously do wholesale, double closing, all of that.
100%.
There you go, bro. All right.
Yep.
So if you don't mind me asking, Steve, I mean, I love talking about number, bro, especially to the big guys. So
yeah.
How much you do on that?
So on that one, I think we did last month. I think we did 70 closings and then over 100 openings for last month.
I want to know. I want to know the amount of money, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm getting there. So I think the total take home after everything was in around 15K.
And how much do you how much time do you put in that, dude? You're lazy, bro.
I am lazy. I've been lazy my whole life. It's worked really well for me.
I want to be lazy just like you, dude. So now, Steve, let's talk into.
I used to put in 80-hour weeks though, right? Like when I first started, right? Like I used to put in 8 hours. I was waking up at 2 a.m. or going to bed at 2 a.m. Some mornings 4 a.m. and waking up at 8:30 and starting that crap all over again, right? Like that was my life for 5 or 6 years.
Wow, bro.
So there's pain in the dues. Working weekends, fighting with your spouse. Like, why are you out late again? Who's that woman I hear in the background? Because you're showing properties to a woman. Like there's a lot of crap along the way to get to this point.
I hear you, bro. Everything come with a price tag, dude. No, now, Steve, let's get into your Offer Fast app, dude. Offer Fast app. Mm-hmm. Tell me about it, who it's for, kind of roughly how do people benefit from it and all that, dude.
Yeah, so we created this app because, and you may have experienced this as well, but there are people that we don't opt into, and we get emails for their wholesale properties. We get text messages about their wholesale properties. We get people cold calling us saying, hey, can I put you on my buyer's list? And it's kind of annoying because I don't know who you are. And then B, let's just say that you send out a property that I like, but I miss it because who's sitting around checking emails all day? And so what we did was we created an app where a wholesaler can post a property, a flipper can buy the property, and you can set up a saved search just kind of like you can with Zillow or Realtor.com or MLS, where basically, let's just say, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Phoenix for under $130,000. I want to know about that property, right? And so you can set up a saved search so that as soon as one of those properties goes in, you get a push notification to your phone. And so you can set up saved searches. You can message the guy, ask him questions about the properties, because, we know that email used to be a great method of communicating, and then that kind of died. Text has been pretty good, but that's kind of dying too because of people like you and me. And then push notifications is still king. So you can negotiate, you can ask questions, you can negotiate, you can contract it, everything inside the app.
So, bro, this app is like the MLS for real estate investor, wholesaler.
100%.
You see that? Dude. Okay. So this app it's like the MOS, but for real estate investor, wholesaler that post their deal on here, and they're a cash buyer on there. Gotcha, bro. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
So now, Steve, how can people download? Is there any cost or anything like that with the app, dude?
There's no cost, unless you want to have multiple safe searches, but you want just like one safe search, there's no cost. You just go to the iTunes or the Google Play Store or the App Store for Apple, and you just do a search for OfferFast. It's one word, OFFERFAST. One thing we're working on, which we're really excited about, I don't know how soon we can get it out there, is Podio integration. So you can push it from your Podio into our mobile app. So we're working on that. But if we can get that to work, I think we'll do really well.
Oh hell yeah, bro. So basically what it is once they got the property lock up on the contract, they get everything, and then they just push a button. It will take that deal and send straight over to your Offer Fast Cash app, right? Right? Offer
Yes,
Fast
sir.
app. Gotcha, bro. Dude, that would be huge, dude. Let me know, dude.
I know, we're excited about it.
Yeah, bro. Let me know when you get that set up, dude. Maybe we should do another interview just on that.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Steve, so right now it is free, right? Or what?
Right now it's free.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free now, and it'll be free for the foreseeable future, unless you want the premium features, right?
Gotcha.
Then it's going to be more. But the free version is totally usable. Like, we created an app that if you're brand new, mom and pop, you can use it and it costs you nothing.
Done. Got it, bro. So now, Steve, let's talk into your podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I started, so this was in May of last year. So I was at an event where Brandon Burchard was speaking on stage, and he was talking about how everyone wants to hear your story. You need to do a blog, you need to write a book, or you need to start a podcast. I was like, this is a stupid idea. No one cares about my story. Like, why would anyone care? But I said, let me just give it a shot. Let me start a podcast, and if it fails, nobody will know. So it's no big deal, right? There's no risk here. And so we did it. In the first episode, we had like 30 live viewers. Second episode, we had 70 live viewers. Like, okay, so we're on to something here. But it was just, going back to the 100 Millionaires, it's just a way for me to make a bigger impact. Taking the lessons, the wisdom from the guests that come on the show, and then being able to, basically put it over the airways across the country. And we have people listening from all across the country. It's kind of crazy. And it's just a free resource because, why not? Like, this information, if we can help people, we can shortcut the process. Why not? So it's fun. It's fun for me.
Absolutely, dude. For those of you who's listening, man, stories is what sells. You got to be a good storyteller, but obviously you got to back it up with all the facts, right? With all the results.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We ask for HUDs now, which offends some people. Like, you want to be on the show, you have to send me HUDs. And that's one thing that once I started doing that, and that word kind of got around, it gave the show even more credibility.
Absolutely.
So which is kind of cool.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So now, so where can people go and listen to your podcast, Steve?
So we're on, we got the Apple Podcast app. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts. So basically anywhere there's a podcast that you can find it, it's there. But the big places that we're heard is iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts.
Okay, and it's Real Estate Disruptor, right?
Real Estate Disruptors.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Because I don't know how to spell disruptor, bro.
DISRUPTORS.
Got it. Okay, now let's talk about the coaching, Steve. The coaching, bro. When did you start the coaching program, man? And so tell me about it.
We started the coaching program back in May of this year. And it was basically when I was at We Live, and I was talking about how we close appointments, and I realized there was really a strong need for closing appointments because, 2 years ago, there was no bulk skip tracing, right? Batch skip tracing did not exist 2 years ago.
Yep.
So I started a debt collection company just so I can do bulk skip tracing, because that was the only way. You had to be a debt collector or a private investigator. And so I started a debt collection company so I could be a bulk skip tracing company. And I got audited and everything just to make sure I was legit, even though I wasn't, but I was able to pass all the tests. So bulk skip tracing was an option 2 years ago. Pulling lists, pulling data, like all of these things are newer things in the last year and a half. And so today, like every business is sales and marketing. Today, marketing is easy. Like everyone can do what you just go on YouTube, watch your show, watch my show, watch Brett Daniel's show, watch Max Maxwell's show. Like there's no shortage of how to get a hold of the homeowner, right? So now that you got a hold of the homeowner, how do you convince them to do business with you versus everybody else? And that's sales. And that's what we coached on. And it wasn't until after we live that I realized how much of a challenge that is for a lot of people. Sales training, there's lots of sales training out there, but most of it's crap. And I didn't realize how bad it was. And then, I had so many people reach out to me after we live saying, I use this line in this word. I use this line and I close the seller. And so I had so much positive feedback. It's like, man, if I can help people just close more appointments, because again, the challenge today is not marketing. The challenge today is sales. And so that's what we coach on, how to close more appointments, because it's freaking expensive to get inside someone's house, or for your case, for your virtual guys, how to get them on an appointment on the phone call to talk about actually selling their house. That's expensive between the data, the phone call, the texting, the RVMs, everything. So it's so important to convert as many of those appointments as you can. And that's what we focus on in our coaching.
Gotcha. So basically, okay, so your coaching program is just teaching people how to close.
Yep, how to close the appointment.
Gotcha. Okay, and how do you...
Because how many people are getting, I got to think about it, right? I need to, let me think about it. I need to think about it. I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my husband. I need to talk to my kids. Like you hear this all the time, and that's crap. And we don't deal with that anymore.
So Steve, I want you to drop another bomb, bro. So if I say I want to think about it, bro, what do you say, dude?
So we solved this in the very beginning of the appointment. So the long and short of it is, in the very beginning, hey, Khang, at the end of our time together, if you don't feel comfortable with our price or our terms, would you be all right telling me that this is not a good fit for you?
Yes.
Okay. And likewise, if I'm not sure this is one of the houses that we're going to be buying, would you be okay if I tell you that we're not going to be buying your house?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. And if it does make sense for us to work together, what we're going to do is we're going to outline the terms that we discussed and put it on a piece of paper and sign that. Would that be all right?
Yes. I mean, if we can agree, yes, absolutely.
If we can agree on price and terms.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So that's the beginning of the meeting. So the very end of the meeting, when you tell me you got to think about it, man, Khang, I'm really confused. When we sat down in the very beginning, we talked about, like, if you didn't like it, you were going to say no, but if you liked it, then we're going to put it together in writing. Did I miss something?
Okay. And then okay, gotcha. Okay. I as a seller would have to say, well, I don't like the price or whatever the case may be.
Okay, that's great. You don't like the price? I understand. What were you hoping we were going to offer?
Boom, Steve Trang, dude. Okay, so now how do people get into the coaching program with you, Steve?
Yeah, it's really simple. You just got to go to disruptors.com. DISRUPTORS.
Got it.
.com.
Now, Steve, how do people reach? We're running out of time, dude. How do people connect with you, bro?
It's really simple. Instagram at steve.trang. That is where I am most accessible. And I am pretty responsive. I know there are a lot of guys. I can tell you my frustration, the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because when I was coming up and I was reaching out, and all these gurus are too damn busy to respond to me. So I'm pretty responsive. So at steve.trang on Instagram, emailing me is a dead end. Texting me is pretty much a dead end. Facebook Messenger, I'm pretty good, but Instagram is where I'm the most responsive because it's just the easiest of all the platforms. It's just the easiest to respond to people.
Gotcha, bro. So Steve, I got a question for you, bro. When people call you, oh, the guru, do you get like upset or do you feel like that's do you feel like that's not, I don't even know the word, but do you get upset when people say that?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Bro.
No, I don't get upset because I'm doing deals, right? Like, I don't care. If you got a problem with what I'm doing, like, that's your own problem. Like, that's inside your head. I'm living life. I'm living good. I'm happy as can be. You got an issue with me, that's your problem. And I do get people, like, I've had, 2, 3, 4 people on Facebook just, like, calling me out. And I don't have time for that, so I just block them. Like,
dude, Steve,
I'm not trying to have negativity in my life.
Dude, bro, Steve, listen, when I first going into this whole, trying to learn the whole real estate, bro, and obviously, I would follow people, and when they call these people a guru, they're like, I don't know what guru mean. I thought guru mean like master, right? Master of the craft. So I would,
by definition, yeah.
Oh, that is the different definition?
That's the definition, yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't even
It's
know
sarcastic,
that.
right?
Like.
Yeah, everyone's just being sarcastic.
Oh, so, but I don't know why people think guru is like a bad term when you call someone a guru. Nowadays, when you call someone a guru, they're not doing the business that you're teaching. Dude, when I first started, Steve, dude, I said one day I want someone to call me the guru. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when people call me guru, dude, I was like, hell yeah, bro. So see, the thing is, Steve, and that's where I respect you, bro. Just like Gary Vee said, you see, people get insecure because you don't know, because you don't know who you are. See, once you know who you are, you're not offended and you don't care about anybody's opinion, because once you know who you are, like, you'll be like, dude, call me a guru, bro. Oh, you don't do anything besides teaching and making money. Dude, so what? Like, as long as you know who you are, right? As long as you know who you are, why would people opinion matter? Why would what they say matter? I think people get insecure because they don't know who they are, right?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, right? If they're not fully secure who they are, they feel like either they feel they're unworthy, or, they feel like there's this thing called imposter syndrome, where even when you're successful, you still feel insecure about it, like, so they're going to find out I'm a fraud, right? But I have no shame. Well, I've never had any shame, but I am completely unashamed of who I am, right? Because I know I'm doing big things, and I know I'm helping people. I know people around me are doing better. That's all I care about.
Absolutely. So for those of you who's listening, let me give you a quick example. So if I say this, if I say, Steve, dude, your hair is freaking red, bro. It's nasty. It's red. Steve would be like, dude, you're a little cuckoo, bro. You're right. Steve wouldn't care, because Steve knows that his hair's not red. His hair's black, though, right? His hair's black, though. But when you're insecure about certain things, and when people point it out, that's when you get offensive, and that's when you try to put up the wall and try to, you see. And the reason why I know this, man, because I was throughout my life, I was extremely insecure physically, mentally. So when people say something about me, like saying, Khang, as a Vietnamese, your skin is a little bit dark, like I get really like offensive, and then I would go and then I would cry. Like I don't fight back or argue back. That's kind of my personality. But I take it on myself so bad that I go and then I cry about it, because I was already insecure about that. You see, I was already insecure about it. You see, now, dude, now I can care less what people say, dude. Now, now I can care, like, when I post a picture,
it's liberating.
Say, yeah, because now you know who you are. Once you know who you are, dude, like, nothing else matter. Like, I post picture and people say, Khang, that's not even your car. I say, that's right. I rented the car. It's not even my car. It's my neighbor's car. You see, like you don't even care anymore. Well, Khang, you post picture of money. Yeah. That's not even your money. You probably borrow that and you're broke ass. I said, that's right. I am. You see, like you don't care anymore. Once you know who you are, dude, like you don't care anymore. But when people touch a spot, where you were already kind of concerned about it, then you will try to get a little insecure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to stick. And I think, you know, for me, I'll tell you, like if someone's like negative or being, like if someone's being, you know, kind of ridiculous, I'll kind of like, you know, what do you mean by that? I'll get some clarification.
Right.
But if someone's just being outright rude, I'm telling you, blocking them is liberating, because why do you want to have any negative energy? Like, you're here to do good things, to do big things. And you're just, you know, it's like, kind of like the guys that are swimming competitively in the Olympics, like they shave their arms, they shave like everything shaved, right? Like I'm just shaving you off, cutting you out. No time for this. I'm trying to win gold medals out here. You're just wasting my time.
Love it, Steve. So, hey, Steve, I'm going to let you wrap it up, man. One last word, anything that you want to say to the audience, bro.
Man, I'm going to say this same thing I said before, and it's that, you know, there's never been a better time to be alive. There's so many opportunities here. Turn off the news and go get what's yours, right? Go out there and pursue and do this thing that you deserve, that you were put on this planet for. Don't settle for anything less.
Boom. Here's what I say to anybody that have any excuses why they can't make it in today's.
Come on, man.
Steve, I want to say, bro, thank you so much, bro. I had so much fun on this interview. I hope you guys like it as well. I hope you guys get a lot of knowledge. You guys have any questions, comment below. And until next time, you guys take care and have a great rest of your day. Ciao, Steve.
Thank you, brother.